Hi, welcome back. This is Jesamine of Jesamine Creates, and today I am showing you another sketch for what's in the house, and this is about the street food and the photo reference photo that I made 2019 during my travel in the Philippines. I was with my mom this time, and this is my mom, by the way. I'm sketching here, and on this series I'm showing you my sketch about doing first line and then color. This one first with line, and then later on I color it and then make details about my sketch. But if you, by the way, check my Instagram, I also have a different technique there, the same subject with different technique. On my IGTV, it's more like first wash and then line. So if you're interested to also check that out, follow me on Instagram at Jesamine Creates, so you also see how do I make my drawings when I start first with wash and then line. So it was a live stream 2 weeks ago or somewhere in February. It was really fun, so it's nice if you check that out also, and let me know what's your favorite, if it's the wash first and then line, or the line first and then wash. So here I'm slowly building up my color and my lines here on my sketch. I normally use one subject first as a measurement for the rest of my sketch. So if you see it closely, you will find something like lines, like pencil rough sketches at the background. But actually, I'm not really doing really details with my pencil sketch. It's more like an indication where I need to locate specific shapes, like human figures, the cart, for example, or something like that. It's not really making a drawing with details. I only really just do the details when I'm doing the lines with my waterproof pen inked. So here I'm sketching first this woman here standing in front of the food cart, or the street food. I'm using that one as a measurement. So this is my mom, and if you notice it, I will show it also later on the reference photo. So if I use the big shape as my reference measurement for everything, it's much easier for me to fit everything on one sketchbook. Before, when I was just start sketching, I always end up like almost at the edge of the sketchbook or somewhere end of the paper, and I don't know where should I start. Should I start with should I start in the middle of the page, or somewhere in the left, somewhere in the right? And then because I am a self-taught artist, I'm a self-taught illustrator. So for me, everything is like like learning every process. So I just realized that it's much easier way to do this is to just first use one subject as your measurement, and then that measurement will help you to guide you how you're gonna go further to the rest of your sketch. So I'm really happy that I found this way, because sometimes you don't really see it in any book or any tutorials and everything like that. You just have to learn it yourself, and sometimes you will see it on any tutorial or any online courses, but sometimes it's not your thing. And for me, this is really help, because I love sketching when it's not perfect. I don't want really to be too clean and too neat and very very perfectly lines. I love it when it's crooked, and especially when it's not perfect. So because it gives more character on my sketch. So if you're also into that, let me know. I would like to hear your story about it, and how did you learn your process on sketching. And I'm so interested to know it, because for me it's really like crawling in the dark, like learning everything step by step. But I love it because it's it's my process. So if you you notice here on my drawing, you notice that I also use black color to block some shapes. It's more like I am well, I just want to make it more less details on that area to give more highlight on what's in it, what's next to it, so what's really more important. Because sometimes when it's a sketch like this, it is a lot of details. You need to decide also, for me, my opinion, you need to decide which one you're gonna block. I mean, which one is will give you space to be quiet or not too much going on. And if you do that on your if I do that on my sketch, it means that I also give space to something that I want to highlight it or to emphasize. So because if you make your drawing everything detailed, all small figures, small pieces, and it's just gonna be busy, and it will not gonna your eyes will not gonna lead you where to look first. You know, when I find it more interesting if I look on a subject, like I really the drawing itself will gonna guide me to where should I look first, and then it will guide me to look for details, and it will also not letting me see everything in one time. So it's playing my eyes, and that's really interesting, and that's I'm always trying to show on my sketch. So normally when I give big shapes on my drawing, when I draw something that's less details or more like block, like pure white or pure square or round things, you will notice that next to it is more details. So it's really more like giving way to the other elements. I hope you get what I mean. As you can see, I'm already started with coloring my sketch, and I start first with a light wash on it, so everything with light wash, and then I wait until it's slightly dry. Then it's the time to do the details. But then once it's done, then I go back again to my pen and details to put it back again, the color of black lines on it. But I always wait until when everything is really dry, but that's only when I first start with watercolor and then go next to fine liner. This is, by the way, Koval Sketchbook, and I'm using a Saunders Waterford paper 300 GSM hot press for this sketchbook. I really love it, especially with watercolor. And this is the reference photo for the day and the video. I am happy that I found this video from my old phone. So normally when I use watercolor, I first do wet on wet, so everything wet, but once I'm finished with all the details, the finishing touch will be dry brush, and it's just gonna focus with details and pure paint from the pans, so that my brush is also not so wet, and I can just combine it also with fine liner. But I always wait when the first layer is dry before I go straight with fine liner. So here I'm already adding more darker values on my sketch, like the red, more red. And sometimes it's also nice to take a break every now and then to look on your sketch for distance, so you know which one needed to be added or not. And I'm also adding Posca white markers on every details that I made. But I don't really add too much lines here, because otherwise it will overwork my drawing. If you also like to see my other sketch, my other technique on my Instagram, IGTV, you will find it there. When I started first with wash and then lines, so it means like when I started first with watercolor and then lines. So check that out also on my IGTV Instagram. Follow me there as well if you like my sketch adventure. And this one is this street food sketch is more lines and watercolor. So it's really different than the other one. And the other one is also live streamed, by the way. Thank you, Koval Sketchbook, by the way, for sponsoring my sketchbook for today, and Winsor and Newton for sponsoring my brushes. I really love the round brushes from Winsor and Newton. It's a synthetic brush, cotton brush, but it's really great for watercolor. And I was also gonna show you some sketches from our Instagram community, What's in the House. We are on the month of February. We have a sketch challenge. It's more like draw this in your style. So we have one reference photo, and then we sketch it together, and we use our own technique. And you will find a lot of beautiful sketches there. Follow us also there on Instagram at What's in the House, and you will see a lot of nice sketches from our sketching community. And I also added it here. I hope you like it. You can check them out. Follow them also on Instagram. You will find it in the end of this video, all the sketches from our sketching community on Instagram, What's in the House. So by the way, if you have any ideas, any tips for the next coming videos on my YouTube channel, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram and Facebook. So maybe it will help me to create something also that you like in the future. So I think I'm done with the sketch, and this is the final sketch with first line and then colors. And if you want to look the other drawing that I made, it's on my Instagram. So this is the actual food, the street food in the Philippines that we sketch. It's actually an intestine of a chicken, also a skin of a chicken. The orange there is intestine, and the light yellow, this is chicken skin. They're really crispy and so delicious. It's so addictive. The taste is more like salty, a little bit herbs in it, and also sweet. And if you dip it in a sauce, the sauce is like soy sauce with sugar and fish sauce. It's just for snacks. And tip from me as a Filipino, if you go to Philippines and you would like to taste the street food, and you think the street food need to be dipped in a sauce, ask for a cup, separated cup for your sauce. That's safe, because you don't want to have an upset stomach after eating the snacks. And for vacation, that's safe. It's just hygienic to do it like that. So always ask for a separate sauce for your food. And this street food is by the way a mix of sweetness and salt, and with herbs in it. So it's really yummy. I get that idea of wanting to eat that again. So here are the sketches from our sketching community at What's in the House last time for the title Street Food. And I also gave there a live stream tutorial about how I sketch my subject for when I'm starting with wash, like this one. You will see it here. I show you some sneak peek here, and I also show how do I build up first my line, or how I started. And it's actually the basic shape first before you go straight with lines. So it's still the same thing when I do with lines. When I do first with watercolor and first line, I always don't want to make it perfect. And the idea of doing a wash first before line is actually setting everything already on my paper before I go with drawing. And sometimes it helps me to guide me how big is one subject is supposed to be. And when I do wash and lines, it's normally when I'm rushing or when I'm really actually doing an urban sketching outside. So because I want to make sure that everything will be finished after 2 hours. So I do wash lines, and that's why I decided to put this on my live stream. So thank you guys for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you again next time for another sketching adventure with me, Jesamine Creates. Follow me on Instagram at Jesamine Creates, and also here on my YouTube, Jesamine Creates. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.